Hi, Kiran. How are you? Uh,
Hi.
yeah, this is Hemant. We will give some time for others to join and then
Yeah,
we'll start.
sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's get started. So this is Hemant. To those who have not joined yesterday, thanks for joining back. We will continue with the day 2 session. So on the day 1, we have discussed about what is cloud computing. So we saw the various advantages, key advantages of why the customers have to move to cloud. And then we have discussed about the Oracle Cloud infrastructure, like what is OCI and in how many regions you have the OCI services available. And then we have gone through the slides where we saw the regions, like the different regions available, the global footprint, we saw that. And we have discussed about how we have to choose a region, like what will be the best practice when you are choosing a region. And then we have gone through the architecture of OCI, like we have discussed about the regions, availability domains, and fault domains, like what is an availability domain and how effectively we can make use of that availability domains to avoid a single point of failure. If there is a high availability requirement, how you can place your uh, resources in such a way that you always get a high availability. And also we discussed about the fault domains in a similar way. And then we saw about different service models which are being offered by OCI, like IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And then we moved on to discuss about the actual services, the core infrastructure services and the DB services, the overall services, like which are categorized in 7 major categories. So we have discussed briefly about all those services. And then we have discussed how you can get these services in different methods, like in distributed cloud methods, whether you are going with a public cloud to use these resources, or you are going with a hybrid cloud method where you have again a dedicated region clouded customer, which is called as DRCC, or you are going with a VMware solution or some other features which we have discussed along with the multi-cloud. So multi-cloud is again with Microsoft Azure, which is having an interconnect between OCI and Microsoft Azure. So this is something we have discussed yesterday. We understood what is cloud computing is all about, and why it is important, and why the customers are moving to the OCI or any other cloud providers. So what are the advantages they are getting? And then we saw about OCI, what all the offerings they are having, what all the services they are giving, in which regions they are operating. Now we will, in this session, we will see about the sign-in process, and we will go through the console. We'll have a walkthrough on the OCI tenancy, and then we will discuss about the course content, what all the content and the modules we will be covering in this course. Okay, to start with today, so we'll start with seeing what is a cloud free service, what is Oracle Cloud Free Tier is all about, and we'll see how to sign up to this free tier. And then we'll go through a console overview. We'll have a walkthrough on the console, and finally we'll discuss about the course content in detail.
Hi Hemant, this is Shiva.
Yeah, hi Shiva.
Hey Hemant, yeah, I will be joining from today. So
Okay.
I missed the demo class, but I got the recording and I gone through.
Okay. Yeah, we have just started. We just started with discussing about what all things we have covered yesterday, and what
Sure,
all
sure.
points which we will be discussing on today's session. So in today's session,
Sure.
yeah, we will see how to create a free cloud tier, which is being offered by OCI.
Okay. So, Hemant, do you want me to walk through myself?
Yes, please go through.
Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, I have around 16 years of relevant experience into IT. Currently, I'm working as a Oracle integration consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, so I'm actually techno-functional. I'm more into technical. I work with PaaS and SaaS applications. So, yeah, so the course I joined because yeah, we got that requirement that to get another entity to ERP cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that's the reason I will be involved from OCI part also
Okay.
moving forward. Yeah, that's the
Okay.
reason I'm learning this.
That's nice. So this will be covering your IaaS also. So you will be covering all the services in that case.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So
And
yeah.
one more intent also, like I need to even get certified because as of the services company, right, we need to get
Mm-hmm.
certified for OCA as well. Okay, just to let
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that as well. Okay,
Sure.
thank you.
That is also covered as part of this.
Oh, okay, sure, Hemant. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So coming to the Oracle Cloud free tier. So Oracle is offering this free tier, which has a couple of services which are always free. And there is some time limit like 30 days free trial where you will get $300 of free credits. So in this free trial, once you create this account, initially for this 30 days or till the time you use these free credits, you will be able to use the following services like it includes a database and analytics, compute, and container engine for Kubernetes. And it goes up to 8 instances across all the available services. And you can utilize up to 5 terabyte storage in this 30 days free trial account. And once you complete this 30 days free trial period, and or you finish this 300 free credits, you will still have, you will be able to use your account with your free, always free services. So even after 30 days, your account will be still active and you will still be able to use some of the free, always free services like to Oracle Autonomous Database with Apex and SQL Developer. So you can always use these ADB or ATP databases, and you can also use two AMD compute VMs, uh, which makes up to 4 instances of ARM Ampere A1 compute. And along with these things, you can also make use of the block storage, object storage, and you can go and create load balancers, and you can use monitoring and notification services. So these are all like always free services. So even though your tenancy is out of this 30-day free trial, you don't have any credentials, I mean, sorry, credits, you'll still be able to use these services. So let's see how to create this particular, how to sign up to this free tier. So the process starts from this URL. You will be clicking on this URL. It will take you to the login page where you first have to verify your email address. So once you verify your email, then you will be providing all the address details similar to your, whatever the credit card you will be using to create this account. The same address you have to provide here, and you have to provide your credit card details, and then there will be a charge on your credit card which will be reversed immediately. It will be like a $1 charge kind of thing, and you will get that reversed immediately, and this is only for your card verification. So you will not be charged whenever you have this tenancy. You have nothing to worry, like there'll be no hidden charges or no other charges. Like until and unless you actually upgrade your tenancy, you'll not be charged anything on your card. So don't worry about that. You can safely provide your card details and make sure that the same address is being used when you're signing up to your free tenancy. So whatever the card address is given to this credit card, so you have to use the same address even here. And then you will get a confirmation from Oracle with your tenancy details, and you will be able to log into that tenancy. So let's go to the console, to this URL. Okay, so once you click on that URL, you will land up to this Oracle Cloud free tier page, and then you'll see start for free and sign into Oracle Cloud. So you'll click on start for free to get started for this creating this account. And if you scroll down, you'll also see what is included in this Oracle Cloud free tier. Like this is just what we discussed. You have two account types. Like for the first 30 days, you're eligible for all these services. You can make use of these things. And after 30 days or after completing this credits, you'll still be able to use the free services. If you just scroll down, you'll have more in detail things like mentioned in what all the things you'll get with always free services, and what all the additional services you have using the credits as well. So that is all about the services. So let's click on start for free. Okay, so once you click on start for free, you have to mention your account information, like from which country you are. So I'm taking as India and giving the first name and last name and the email address. I just have to select this. I'm not a human. Sorry, I'm a human. And then please click on each image containing a castle. So I'll just select the image. And once again, it asks containing a castle. Okay. Verify. And you, as per the first step, you have to verify your email address. So once you click on verify my email, an email verification link will be sent. So you have to use this link. Okay, there you go. So you have the verification email which we have received just now. So you just have to click that verify email again. It will take you back to your creation screen where you're creating the account. So there you go. It has been verified now, and it is asking for a password. So you will provide some password which contains minimum 8 characters with one lowercase, one uppercase, one numeric, and a special character. So let me give a password for this. Okay. And then you choose the customer type, whether it is a corporate account type or it's an individual. So I'll go with the individual account type. And then you'll see a cloud account name. So this is an account name for your tenancy or your account. You have to make sure it is a unique name, and as per the availability, if the name is available, you'll be able to use it. So in this case, it is giving some automated thing like based on my first name and last name. So it has generated something like this. So if you want, you can use this, or if you don't want, you want to use something else, you can use that as well. So yeah, if I use something like this, it is available, then I can use. Or if I see OCI 2023, it's not there. Maybe if I want to use like this and see if it is available, yeah, it is there. So this is the name which you will be using going forward whenever you have to connect to your tenancy, or we call it as a tenancy or your account. So this will be a unique name. And then comes for your home region. So home region, you can select a home region where you want to use this account. So usually we generally prefer to create a home region which has multiple availability domains, as we discussed yesterday. So each region has 3 availability domains. So whenever you're doing some practice sessions or doing some demo sessions in your lab or in your account, so if you have multiple availability domains, so you can also see the difference when you create a subnet, if it is only specific to one ID or multiple IDs. So I prefer we always take a region which has multiple availability domains, like if you see Ashburn or Phoenix or Frankfurt. So all these regions have multiple availability domains. So if you go with India, Hyderabad South, or India West Mumbai, these are having only one AD, so they don't have multiple availability domains. So you can take whatever as per your choice, but recommended to go with the multiple AD so that you can cover all the lab sessions. So it has some warning, says that because of high demand of this AI compute, South Korea, Central and Japan, so that is fine, as limited. And then you click on continue. So here what we have done is we have verified our email account, and then we have given a password for the account and the name for the account. And finally, we have selected the region under which region you want to create this account, and click on continue. Here it will ask you for the address information. So this address information should be matching with the address information of what you will be providing for the payment verification. So just keep that in mind. Here I'm just giving something like this, but you give the correct address how you want. So that it validates those things, and you'll be able to, whatever the details you give, you provide them. And once you continue, finally it will ask you for the payment verification details. Like if you give some random details here in this session, then continue and add a payment verification method. So you'll be using your credit card details. So you'll fill in all the details again, the exact address details for the billing information, and your card type, choose your card, and then finish the transaction. So this will just charge you for that $1, and it will reverse back that charge to you immediately. And then finally, once you complete the agreement and click on start my free trial, you'll be getting the account details. So the account details, you will get the same name what you have selected. So in this case, it is OCI A2023 AUG. So it will be the same name. Okay, so once you have that account name, so what you will be doing is you will be going to cloud.oracle.com. So let me log out. So I think I have some session here logged in. closing all my sessions. Okay, so once you're done with the sign up, you'll get that account details, and then what you'll do is you'll go to the cloud.oracle.com, and then in the login page, you'll see something like cloud account name. So this will be your name, whatever you're created as part of the sign up process. So you'll provide that name and click on next, and then you'll get the IDCS login screen where you will be prompted for asking for your login username and password. So the email ID, what you have given will be your username, and the password, what you have set during the account creation will be your password for the account. So now in this lab session, I have a different account already created. I'll be using that. So here it is, TNA OCI is my account name. So I'll be using that account. So I'll just click on next. Okay, so the account name is STNA OCI. So it is showing up here, and you have Oracle Cloud account sign in like identity domain, which is a default domain here in this case. And it is prompting for me to provide the username and the password details. So once I provide the username and password, I can click on sign in to get started. So this is a free tenancy. So this has no more credentials. I mean that additional credits left. And you see you only have always free services in this tenancy. And you see there is something like upgrade to a paid account. So until unless you go and click upgrade to a paid account and update few details here, then only you will be able to upgrade the account. So until unless you do this, you will not be getting any charge for the tenancy. So you can make use of the credit cards without any harm. So once you log into the OCI console, you will see like the getting started page, and you have a dashboard here. So dashboard has something like add widget. So you can add whatever you want to be added to your dashboard. Like if you want to add some monitoring services to be added, or if you want to add some cost management, you can do that. And you can simply add to the dashboard. Like see the monitoring thing. If you want to add, you can add a new monitoring chart here. You can configure that and make use of that in the dashboard itself. So if you have to monitor something here. And on the right side extreme, you see profile. So if you click on that, it will give you the details like the username using which you have logged into the console. And then you will have the identity domain, which is the default identity domain in this case. So if you click on that, you will see the information of the domain, like to which domain you have logged in. So what are the domain details you have? And you'll see something like OCID, which is the cloud identifier details of this domain, and the URL of the domain. So this is something same which you see also here. This is the domain details like OCID value. The same value will be there here as well. So this is the OCID value of your domain. And in the URL, if you just observe, you will see that tenant equals to. This is the same name which you have created for your account. So tenant equals to STNAOCI, and then you have the default domain name, and then the region as showing as Ashburn. So Under the domain, you will see the users, what all the users are created in this tenancy, and you have groups, dynamic groups, and so on. So we'll come back to this in the next sessions, but you have domains here under the profile. And you have another option called My Profile. So if you click on My Profile, you'll see the profile details of the current user which you've logged in as. So this is a default user. When you create a tenancy, by default, this user is created with the administrator privileges. So here, if you want to edit your profile, you'll be able to edit it. If you want to change the email address, you can change mailing address or add some description. You can include some middle name, or you can change the first name, or you want to include some information, you can update all the information and save the changes. And the next one is to change the password. If at all you want to change the password, you can do it once you log into the console, and then you provide your current password and provide the new password. Or if you want to change your password, you can also do this from the console. When you log into the console, you can do it from clicking forget password thing. And then you'll see something like a link support to account. So this is nothing but if you have a Oracle support account and you want to link it to that, you can do that. And you can link your OCI console to your Metalink or whatever, your support.oracle.com in this case. So why we link that account? So if at all you have to create a service request, whichever, I mean, like if you are facing some issue in some of the services, or if you have to raise a service request, you can directly do it from the console itself. That I'll show you how to do it. And to get all the latest updates from the support, if you link your account, you'll receive all the latest updates as well. And then you have security. You can update your recovery email address, and you can also set up multi-factor authentication. And then you see something like more actions. So if you have some applications assigned to your profile, you'll be able to see that. You can edit your email address, and then you have any tags if you want to add to your user, you can do that. And then you have a different set of resources which you have to make use of for the authentication purpose, and different uses which we will come through in the detailed sessions. So that is all about your user. The first user which you create for the account, you will have all the details of the user from my profile. And if you see, even in the domain, you might have observed that there is a OCID, which is nothing but Oracle Cloud Identifier. So there is a OCID value here for the domain. And for your profile, you have a OCID value. So this is a unique value. So for each resource or for each service, you have a OCID value. So this OCID value is used if you want to create or call some services using some APIs, command line interface tools. So in those scenarios, you will be making use of this OCID value. So we say it as OCID. And then you have the tenancy details, like this is the account name. So we name it as tenancy here. And if you see the name STNA OCI, and this will be the same name what you are be going and creating that. And again, you see a OCID value. So every resource, as I said, will have a OCID value. And it has some other details like what is the object storage settings, object storage namespace, and other few details of the tenancy. So if you want to edit the settings of the object storage, you can do that. And here you don't have much information other than requesting for a tenancy deletion. So if you don't want to use this account anymore, you can request for a deletion as well. And then you have console settings. So if you want to change some default console settings, you can go and do that. Like here, the session idle timeout is for 60 minutes. So if you want to increase that or decrease that, you can set it for 30 minutes. I think the maximum is 60 minutes. So you can choose a custom number between 5 to 60. So if you don't want to keep it idle for 60 minutes, you can change it, reduce it to something 5, 10, or 15. You can do that. And you can customize your console like the way you want to see when you log in. So as a database engineer, if you are to see those resources only in the dashboards or the startup pages, you can do that. Or if you are a DevOps engineer and you want to see only those kind of resources in your dashboards, you can set up something like that in the console settings. And finally, you have sign out. So you can, once if you're done with your activities to sign out, you'll click on profile and sign out from the console. And next is the language settings. So if you are comfortable in some other language and you want to see your console in that language, you can just change the language based on your requirement. So whatever the available languages you have, so you can change your console to look in that language. You can make use of languages, whatever the languages you have here. You have these many languages supported in console, so you can change it and you can make use of a different language. So I'm going back to English. So this is just for your language change in the console. And then you see something like help. Help is nothing but if you have to raise any support request to Oracle, if you have any issues in the console, you can make use of this help, and you can submit feedback, or you can raise a request. So this is not showing that raise service request option because we have not have the account linked here, but you will also get that once you link the account. But otherwise, you will see the links to the various documentation pages. It will take you to the docs.oracle.com where you have various documentations available. You can chat with the Oracle team. If you have some issues with the tenancy or the account, you can do that. Or you can post a question in the Oracle forum, open forum, or you can submit a feedback as well. So that is all about the help part here. And then you will see the announcement section where you will see if there are any announcements in this OCI tenancy, like if they are doing some maintenance things or they are introducing some new services, those kind of notifications you will see under this announcement part. So here, if you see all actions between this selected period of interval, so if you change that, if you have something, you'll see that under the required actions are recommended actions during that period of time. So whatever the period of time you want to check for those announcements, you can come here and view all those information if there are any announcements. And you can also filter by the service name if you are looking for some particular announcement, if it is there or not. You can go get all those details. And then you have the subscription details, like what all the subscriptions you have, and if you have any other subscription announcements also, you will be able to view them under this announcement. And next to the announcements, you have some DevOps development tools like Cloud Shell and Cloud Editor. So this Cloud Shell you will be able to use to connect to the OCI services. So without requirement of some third-party SSH tools, you can connect to the OCI services using this Cloud Shell itself. And you can also upload and download the files to this Cloud Shell, and from the Cloud Shell you can move the files to the compute servers or the services or the resources which are running in the OCI. So it's just creating your Cloud Shell. To launch takes a couple of minutes. Yeah, there you go. So every user which is created in this console will get a Cloud Shell, and it has something around 5 GB of storage. If you see, it comes with a 5 GB of storage of your home directory. So you'll be able to upload anything here. If I want to upload, I can just select some files. Maybe let's say I'm just putting this Sebastian key, and I click on upload. So that file is getting uploaded here. So as of now, I have something like SSH key, OCI lab, and python.py. But now if I do ls, I have a new key file as well, which is uploaded to the Cloud Shell. So from here, I will be able to uh, read any of the services which I have provisioned or created in the console. So we'll see more details in the upcoming sessions about how you make use of Cloud Shell when we are discussing about the OCI CLI tools or the APIs. Okay, and then you can download the files as well from the Cloud Shell. So I'm just closing this now. Yeah, you can also restart this cloud, and you also have a code editor, which is something under the Cloud Shell. So where you can do some code. If you have some code, you can do the editing of that using the Cloud Code Editor. Okay, I'll let it launch. And then moving on, next you have a region details. So if you see, this is the home region of your tenancy. Like once you create that account, when you are creating an account, you are selecting a region, right? I've told you, like, you make use of the region which is having multiple availability domains. So that is the home region which you are selecting here. In general cases, in a normal paid tenancy, you can also have multiple regions subscribed to your account, so that you have your primary if you have your primary data center and you want to create a disaster recovery as a different region, so you can subscribe to a different region and you can provision all your other resources in the different region. Okay, so here you have a cloud editor. So if you, code editor, if you want to upload some file and do the code editing, you can do it using this code editor. And if you go to manage regions, you will see what all the regions you can subscribe. So, but this tenancy is a limited one. So you don't see this subscribe button is enabled. But usually in a normal tenancy, in a paid account, you will see that the subscribe button is also enabled. If you want to subscribe to some other tenancy, some other region, you will be able to subscribe to that. So currently the home region is the region which we have selected during the time of the creation of the account. And in this case, this account is having the home region as US Ashburn. So if you have multiple regions, you can go and go to the other region and change the region of the console. And then moving on to the extreme left, you have the navigation menu, which is also known as the hamburger menu. So once you click it, you will see the list of the resources or the services which we have discussed yesterday, which are more than 80 cloud resources, cloud services. So you have all the resources in the main menu and the navigation menu. Starting from home, you have compute services. Like you see this, we have discussed yesterday, like this is something like the core infrastructure where you have the compute services, which has the bare metal instances and the VM virtual machines when you have to provision a server. and you have storage as a core infrastructure service. So under storage, you have the block storage, you have the object storage, you have the file storage. So these are the different storage services which are available in OCI. So you can go with any storage device as per your workload requirements. So if your workload requires say a high available storage, so you go with a file storage which you can mount to a different servers as a shared file system. Or if your workloads doesn't require a shared file system and it requires a normal block volume kind of storage, so you go with a block storage. And if you want to store some backups and backup files in the scenario, you go with the object store. So these are the different storage services which OCI is offering. And similarly, you have compute services, you have the networking services. Under networking, you see again all the how you can create the virtual networks, and you have the web application acceleration, you have the load balancers under the networking services, and you have the DNS management if you have to create your DNS lookup server, and you have the customer connectivity, like if you have to set a connection between your on-premises network to your OCI, then you have different options like site-to-site VPN, or you have fast connect. And under the fast connect, I mean site-to-site VPN, you have different gates like dynamic routing gateway and on-premises equipment. So these are some of the services which are available in OCI as part of the networking. And if you see, there is a pin button which you see. So if you want to access this frequently, so you can pin this by clicking it here. So that will be pinned to your uh, startup page. So in this case, I have pinned it here. So if you go to the main menu, so you can click here to go to the startup page, and you see the pinned items here. So whenever you click on this pinned button, so those will be pinned here. So if you have to access them frequently, you can make use of that thing. And going back on the networking, so yeah, you have the complete we were networking related under the networking menu. So moving on with the Oracle database. So you have different offerings again, as we've discussed in the database services. You have autonomous database where you have data warehousing, you have transaction processing, autonomous transaction processing as ATP, and you have Oracle database services, which is VMDB system, which comes as a PaaS service. And you have XRCS Cloud at Customer, and which is XRCC, and you have some other security related services like data safe, you have database backups, you have Golden Gate. So you have different course, I mean, and database services under the database. And if you have some third-party databases like MySQL, NoSQL database, you have that services under database menu. And then you have all the services related to the analytics and AI, which comes under the analytics part, or under analytics, where you see the machine learning or the data lake, big data services are mentioned under the analytics tab. And you see all the developer services under the developer services menu, which we have discussed again as one of the categories which we have divided apart from the core services, database services, and analytics AI. We have developer services, which covers all the containers like Kubernetes. You have the functions, streams, and you have developer resources like SDKs, CLIs, Ansible. So if you want to use any DevOps kind of things, you can make use of these things to create and do the development of the applications. So that is about the developer and services. And then you'll see identity and security. Under identity and security, you will see the default domain, which is being used for the identity and access management. So this is where you create your users and you assign the users the required policies so that you have the required access management in place, and Cloud Guard, something for the security of the complete tenancy. So we'll see that in the security sessions. And you have few security related in the identity and security, like you have firewalls related if you want to set up your network firewalls, and if you have some WAF, something like a web application firewall, you want to create on top of your load balancers, you can do all those things under the security and identity. And observability management, as we discussed yesterday, this comes under the governance and administration category, where you can set up your monitoring thing, like you can set up your metrics, and you can monitor the CPU resources of the server if it is a server, or the input output of a storage if it is a storage service, or based on the different resources, you can set up the monitoring on top of that, and you can make use of logging analytics. You can do the scanning of your file system, and you have different agents and different scenarios, and we'll also go through these monitoring services in detail in some of the sessions going forward. And this is a new service hybrid thing, which we have discussed in the dedicated cloud model. So you have Cloud at Customer XRCC, and you have VMware solution where if you are migrating the VMwares from your on-prem to the OCI, you can make use of this. And roaming edge infrastructure, we have discussed like a portable compute. If you want to create a roaming edge infrastructure, you will be able to do it. And this is something like a DRCC. If you want to create a dedicated cloud region, you will be able to create the hybrid model. And then there's something like you see a migration and disaster recovery. This is something like FSDR, which we call it as full stack DR. You want to replicate your tenancy to a disaster recovery site, and you want to create a clone of your tenancy. You can do that so that if something goes wrong with this tenancy, you have all the resources and services available in a different tenancy in a different region. So you can do that kind of setup using this disaster recovery service. You can set up a full stack DR so that all the resources like the storage servers, compute servers, or the database servers gets replicated to a different tenancy in a different region. So something goes wrong in this tenancy or in this region, you still have your account up and running in a different tenancy. So that is all about the migration and disaster recovery. And then you have billing and costing. This is something for the governance and administration part. So where you can see the cost analysis and billing part, what all the services you have you are using, and how much the charges you are getting for those services, what you are using. All those details you'll be getting under this menu. And you have again governance and administration, where you can request for new services or limit increase. If you want to do some limit increase of your services, you can do that from limits, quota, and usages. You can see the current usage and what are the quotas. You can set different quotas to different projects in your tenancy, and for different users you can set quotas, like this user can only will be able to provision these many computes, or this compartment can only provision these many computes. So on a compartment level, you will be able to uh, limit the quotas, and you have some limits. You can do that, and you can also, like I said, you can increase the service limits. Like if you have to use XRCS, you want multiple XRCS to be provisioned, and you have to request for a service limit increase. You can do that from the governance and administration part. And finally, you'll see something like marketplace, where in marketplace you have all images. So any third-party images or any Oracle owned product related images, you will be able to use these images to directly install the application. Like if you see, if you have a WebLogic, if you want to install a WebLogic, so you have to traditionally, I mean, like in a standard process, what you will do is you install is you will take a server. On top of the server, you download the binaries of the WebLogic and then do the installation of the WebLogic. But here you have an image. So this image, if you are making use of this image, you will directly get the WebLogic server binaries installed, and you will also get the operating system installed. On top of that, you will have the WebLogic binaries and the installation is done. Directly, you just have to launch this marketplace image to make use of this application. And not only WebLogic, you have so many applications. It's a long list. You have a number of different applications or images available. Like if you want to go with a Ubuntu desktop image, you can make use of that. Or if you want to go with an EBS application, you want to install EBS without installation, you can directly take this image and you avoid all the download software part and uploading the software and installing the software. Yeah, this is about the marketplace images. Yeah, you have a wide range of images which you can explore. So that is a quick overview of the navigation menu. And then
are you going to cover everything, or it depends on the need, or is it like?
Yeah, so mostly if you see, we'll also come to the what we are covering in the word part. But if you want to see it from the console, we cover everything in the compute. Like we see how you create a compute instance. We discuss about how to launch, create instance, how to create an instance pools, how to make use of clusters, images. We'll cover all those things in compute, and we'll discuss about the few things on the instance configurations, what are the advantages we have. So not only the demo part, we will also go through the advantages of using these things and use cases, like in real time scenario, where exactly you'll be using a compute instance, what is the use of using a compute instance. So in which kind of workloads you'll be using this compute instances. So those kind of thing. And coming to the storages, we will cover all the storage services where we'll talk about the block storages. We create the block volumes, we create the file storages, we create the object storages, and we see how we attach this storages to the compute servers which we have created in the step before. And we see how we attach file storages to the compute and what is the use cases of all these storage services. And in networking, we'll see how we create the VCN subnets, we create how we create the gateways, how we create the load balancers, and what is the use of the load balancers, what is the use of DNS management, how you use these things. We will do the demo on those parts, and we'll discuss on the site-to-site VPN, fast connect, DRG. We do create DRGs, and we discuss about a few things here. And whatever the things which we can be able to do in lab session, we will do that in lab for all the services. And in database part, we do provision the DB CS. We do a hands-on session, how to provision a DB, how to take a backup of DB, how you patch the database, the regular maintenance of the database, how you do that, start, stop, lifecycle management. We will discuss about that, as well as we'll do a demo of that. And we will also do a provisioning of autonomous database where we cover data warehouse, transaction processing. We will do all the provisioning stuff here. And XSCC, we will walk through the screens, like how you will provision the infrastructure, how you have to create the VM clusters. We will see all those things and discuss the various options, how to do them. And then we will also create a data safe on top of your VMDB system and discuss about the features of this data safe. We will do a lab session on this as well. And we will discuss about the database backup options. So we use backup modules. These as well we cover as a demo session. So we have so many things covering under the database services. We actually will not cover anything on the third-party database. To understand that we have a third-party services as well in DB services, and as well as in analytics and AI. So this is a different part again, which we understand that we have analytics and AI services, which we have like machine learning services. We just know them, like, but we really don't actually create any services under the analytics and AI in this course. And coming to the developer services, we will look into how to make use of some of the CLI tools, and we discuss about the SDK development tools here as part of the developer services. And of course, we'll see some of the database tools in database services in autonomous database, like how you do the connections using the SQL developer. And yeah, we will discuss about overviews of resource managers and some of the notification part. But few things here will not be actually a hands-on thing on the developer services. But CLI part, everything we will do hands-on sessions on how you make use of the APIs. We do some examples and do some demo in the session. And on the identity and security, you'll do completely cover the identity part, how you create the users. That is the first thing which we will do. Once we have the tenancy in place, the first part before the landing zone, which we create, the foundation services which we have to lay down here. So you need identity, you have to understand the domains, you will be doing that. You will be doing a lab session where we create users, groups, etc. in this sections. And we'll discuss about the Cloud Guard, what all the benefits we have using the Cloud Guard part here, and various options of web application firewall. And we'll have a lab on Bastion session, how you create a Bastion session. And then we'll discuss about key vaults. We do some demo also here on the vault part. And then we discuss about firewalls, like what are the firewalls which we have available in OCI. And moving on to the observability and management here, mostly in any of the sessions, any of the services which we use, most of the management observability part is looking at to the matrices which we have. And we will also discuss about how to set up one of the management agents and how you can do enable the database management in the database once you provision the VMDB system. So we cover the database management part and how you can make use of the matrices there. And moving on to the hybrid, we just use this for our knowledge purpose only. We will not be able to demonstrate anything on this area. Same thing goes with the disaster recovery, because this is a different tenancy and it is all covers under the advanced part. And yeah, we will go through the complete billing and cost services. We'll discuss the complete section here, and all the sections covered under the governance and administration part. And finally, we'll see how to make use of the marketplace images. We go through some of the images, we provision the images, and when we'll discuss about the advantages of using the marketplace, we'll do a demo on this part as well. So over the list, we will be covering almost all the services on the theory as well as the demo part. We will make use of the sessions more interactively and more in hands-on than spending the time on the PPTs and discussing about the features. So we will discuss the features directly on the go when we are doing the provisioning, and we'll discuss the features and discuss more in detail in the way how we do with the hands-on in the labs as well itself. So let's move on. Let's see what all things we are covering in this course. So as I discussed so far, apart from this, I'll just let me open the document. Just give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So you are able to see this Word document, right? So this is the introduction to OCI. Starts with an introduction session, which we have covered, where we saw the service, what is a cloud computing is all about. We have discussed about the service models, and then we saw about the various cloud architecture kind of thing. So that comes under the module 1, and then we are seeing like we already saw the regions, availability domains, and what are the factors considering the regions, and different types of architectures where you have to use to avoid a single point of failure. So this is on the module 2, and moving on from tomorrow, after this, the sign up process is also completed as on today. And then we start up with the identity and management services, where we discuss about the user principles in groups, and we discuss about the authentication and authorization. What is about the difference in authentication and authorization, and we'll see the IAM policies, how to create the policies in the console, how you create the users, and how you assign the policies, and how you assign the groups to the users, and what is the use of these policies, and how you can give the granularity of the user access. All these things we will discuss as part of the identity and access management module. And we will have a hands-on session where we will be creating the users, groups, policies, and assigning and creating the compartments, and discussing about the compartments, what is the advantages of the compartments, and how you have to, in a real-time use case scenario, how you will be creating the compartments. And then we will go with the VCN, which will be the foundation of your networking. So here we will create a VCN, we create a subnet. This is all hands-on labs, what we will be doing. So first we will be creating the users compartments, and then we will create the VCN. We will understand what is a VCN, how we have to use the IP, the CIDR basics. We will go through that, and we will discuss about the IPv4 address blocks, and we will discuss about the various gateways which we have in OCI, and how the gateways are being used, and different types of subnets like private and public subnets. And these are the gateways like internet, NAT, service, dynamic gateways. And then we will also see a demo session on how you do a local peering between two different subnets, how to peer these two VCNs. And we discuss about the remote peering, and we will also see how to do that. And we'll discuss about the various architectures which are available, like the transit routing architecture, what is the use of this, what is the use of hub and spoke model, and we discuss about the use cases of all these models. And then moving on, we will then start with provisioning of the compute services, which will be your servers. We will provision some OS using Oracle Linux servers. We will start creating the services, compute services. We will discuss about bare metal and VM dedicated hosts. What is the different services available under this compute service, whether it is a bare metal service, or it is a virtual machine, or it is a dedicated host. And then we will see the demos on how to create the custom images, how to make use of these custom images. We will see how to import, export, and we will see how to bring your own image, which is called as BYOA. This is all hands-on session which we will do. We will also discuss about the custom boot volumes, custom images, and then we will do a lab on the instance configuration, how to create instance pools, and how you achieve the auto scaling. So this is something like if you want to scale up your CPUs automatically based on the workload at that given point of time, and then you will see the auto scaling configuration. And we'll go through the complete life cycle and metadata part of the compute instance. So first thing is you have as part of the core services, you create users, you create the groups, you segregate the compartments, you create as per if you are, we go through in such a way that if you are doing a real-time project and you are starting an implementation in OCI, so what all things you will be taking care starting from stage 0, like scratch. You create the users, you bring on the users to the console, into the identity, what are the different ways to bring on the users, or how you can create the users, what is the best practices to create the groups, policies, and then you start laying down your virtual network, which creates where you create a VCN and lay your subnets on top of that, and create all the required security rules, which opens the ports between your on-premises and your VCN, I mean, in the OCI. And once the foundation is getting set up, then you will go on create the servers. On servers, we then discuss about the web servers where you install and provision the load balancers. We'll discuss about how to do that, how to do a load balancing on top of your web servers. If you have installed 2 web servers here as part of the compute services, and using those web servers, how you will make use of a load balancer. We do that, create a load balancer and do the demo of how to do a load balancing on top of the web service which we have created. And then we'll discuss about the object storages, like how to create the buckets and what is the use cases. We will do a demo on this as well. And we will have a detailed sessions and demos on block volume, boot volumes. We'll see how to attach a block volume to a server. So how to scale up a block volume, how to scale, we cannot scale down a block volume, but how to increase a volume if it is required. We do that block volume resizes, and how to take a backups. Everything which we discuss here, we will be doing as a hands-on session, as well as we just discuss about the session first, and then we do the lab on the same day when we are discussing about the boot volume or a block volume. We see how we exactly create them, attach them, delete them, and clone, etc. And this is one more file storage, which we will go in deep, like how we create a file storage, where exactly it is being used, what is the best practice of using this file storage. We'll see how to attach this, create this, same as the other storage devices. And moving on to the database, and in this session, we'll discuss about the services, what all the flavors we have in database service. And then we actually do a provisioning of the DB system, and we will see how to set up the automatic backups of the DB system once we provision them. And then we'll discuss about how you can, what is the best practice in making sure that you have high availability of your database. And we do a demo session on how to create a data guard of your database, which is on a VMDB system. Once you provision a VMDB system, how you create a data guard of that. And you will also discuss about the backups and restored part. And we will do everything a hands-on session in the VMDB system part. Similarly, as well as in autonomous database, here also we'll do discuss about what is this service is all about, what is the use cases where exactly this is being used in real time, and how to provision a VMDB, I mean autonomous database warehouse or whether it is a ATP or ADB. We will do a lab on this well, and we will do a lab sessions on how to connect to the autonomous database and various options available on the console for the autonomous database. And we will see how to clone the database, and we will do that clone as well. And we'll discuss about how to scale up, scale down, what all the automatic features which are available as part of the autonomous database. And then moving on, in different services, when we are discussing and the load balancer, we also cover few things like high availability and disaster recovery. So how you have to make sure that whenever you are provisioning the instances, what is the best practice to take the consideration of the availability domains in the fault domains. So how you have to make sure you achieve the high availability. And the DR, we already cover this as part of the database in the autonomous database part. And we also discuss here about few other features on the DR part. And this module will cover all the cost management, budgets, quotas part, how you actually go to the console and create the service limits, and how you create the quotas. We will see the commands, how to create them. We go to the console and we actually create those quotas and see the effect of the quotas, and we set the budget alert alarms and all those things. We will do this when we discuss about the cost management and budgets and quotas things. So this is all will be again hands-on and theory part as well. And as I said, as part of the developer services, we will discuss about the OCI APIs and SDK CLIs. So we will discuss about the few different ways to access the OCI. And we will also have lab sessions where we will see how to download, configure the SDKs, and how we actually install and configure the CLI and make use of OCI CLI. And we will have the complete hands-on session on this SDK toolkits. And then we will also have a detailed hands-on lab session, where we will discuss about this backup cloud service. We do install a backup module, and using that backup module, using the narman commands, how you take the backup to the cloud storage from an on-premises environment or from a cloud environment, wherever the database is running. So how you take backups using this cloud backup service, we will do complete hands-on using the command line tools like DVCLI and the backup module. So we will do a hands-on lab here as well. And I mean, not here as well, on almost all the modules we have a hands-on session. And moving on with the OCI and monitoring notification service, we discuss about the monitoring services, what all the use cases of monitoring services. We discuss about the matrices, and we discuss about the notifications, how to set up the notifications, how you get the notifications, and all this in this particular module. And then we'll discuss about the tagging in OCI, like what is the benefit of using the tags, and where you actually use the taggings, how you can use the automation of the tag applications, all this under the tagging part. And you have a web server in OCI. We will do some lab session where you are creating a web server in one of the compute instance. Once you install a compute server, on top of that, you will install a web server, and you will see how to access this web server from a public internet subnet, how you have to make sure that the firewall list is being accessed. And we discuss about the best practices as well in the real-time scenario, how you have to access a web server. Yep.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes.
Prasad, one question. Yeah. Actually, this is that OCI or OIC course? I can see OCI.
Yeah, this is OCI.
Okay. Actually, we are looking for the integration, OIC.
OIC is taken care by Prasad. This is OCI.
Oh, okay. So, but this is the same course or what?
No,
This
this is a different course. This is an OCI infrastructure administration part. It's
Yeah,
a
but
kind of OCI architect.
Prasad sent us that link, which is for the OSC, and I don't know.
No, then you're in a, I think the link might be a wrong link. You might be shared or something wrong. This is not the OIC. This is OCI.
Yeah, OCI, I can see all chapters. Yeah, Nilesh, you are also there, Nilesh? Hello.
No, I don't see Nilesh here in this session.
Oh, okay. So I think I joined the wrong session. Yeah.
No worries.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.
All right. Okay. So yeah. So we will discuss about the real-time scenario. What is the best case of how you expose your web server? What all things you have to take care in if you are exposing your web server to public subnet. And we also cover the load balancers. We have discussed this already. How you create we create two compute instances and install the web servers and actually see the load balancer, how it is doing balancing the load between these web servers. What are the best practices here you have to take care in terms of provisioning the load balancer and setting up the high availability on top of the web service. This we will do the complete lab demo session here. And even this configuring the auto scaling part, this is again a lab module which discuss about how you create a load balancer and how you use the instance pooling to do a auto scaling. We will do a lab on how you configure instance pool and then you do an auto scale of the instances. And then we will discuss about the EBS Cloud Manager, so which is one of the utility which is being used to do a migration. If you are doing a lift and shift from your on-premises to OCI, how you have to do that. Various lift and shift tools which are available in OCI. And one of them is EBS Cloud Manager. We will discuss about how to set up this tool in OCI, how you create, register this tool and deploy this cloud manager. And then we will also actually see in a real-time kind of thing how you have to migrate the EBS application. We simulate a application on an EBS application, and using the backup module of EBS Cloud Manager, we take a backup of that and then deploy it in OCI. We do this completely hands-on session, and we will also see how to configure the EBS Cloud Manager in the lab. And that's what provisioning of EBS Cloud Manager using the Cloud Manager. Then we also see how you have to provision a new instance using the Cloud Manager. What are the benefits you will be getting if you are provisioning an OCI, if you are doing it with the Cloud Manager itself. And we will discuss about in detail on this, and we will also do a hands-on session on how all the different options which are available in the Cloud Manager. And finally, we'll talk about the security, which includes the data safe, which covers as part of the database service, and we'll discuss about the auditing and few active data guard and audit services which are available in OCI. And here also we'll do some lab sessions as well. And finally, we'll discuss about the completion of the course, where we'll have a detailed discussion about the certifications. What are the certifications you will be able to achieve at the end of the course, like the foundation. And we actually cover the complete foundation and architect part, and few advanced topics from the professional part as well. So you should be able to be covering the foundation easily without any issues, and architect as well at the end of this module. And we will also provide how to clear this courses, and we will help you with the resume preparation if you are looking for something like that. And in in most of the modules, we will also cover some of the questions for the exams, like say if we are completing the database cloud services or some of the module here. And the end of the session, once we complete the lab, there we will go through some of the sample questions which will be getting covered as part of this module, which may be questions how you may see those questions in your foundation or architect or professional when you are going to give that exams. So you will go through those questions at each of the module wherever it is applicable. And also we will in between we will go through the complete questions in one of the sessions where we will discuss what all the questions can be coming up, and we will discuss the model of the exams as well.
So with this course, how a person will be equipped? Is it with respect to architect or infrastructure, or what is? Or
He's an infrastructure administrator. He's an OCI infra admin. He is known as an architect as well. So he will be able to design the architecture. Like he should be able to get the complete knowledge on how the security should be in place, how the infrastructure has to be placed, what all the servers and the subnets, everything he'll be able to do once you finish this course.
So any projects you're giving?
Not really. We are not giving any projects on this. Yeah, but we will see.
How person will be equipped to work on the real-time project if given?
A real-time project, if he is given, what he will be doing in a real-time project is all about creating the VCNs, creating the compute servers, creating the storages, or creating the database services.
No, I mean to say different architecture patterns. So see, in even in cloud, you follow some patterns, right?
As part of best practices, yeah, I can provide you some of the best practices, but again, it depends. There are so many patterns in when it comes to the architecture level. So if you are trying to migrate a on-prem database with an application to OCI, let's assume that you have a single node database with a single node application, and this has to be moved to OCI. So in this scenario, the architecture will be different. Like you just have to provision a single node compute servers. So, and then you have to decide based on the cost. So how the customer wants to take this, like whether he wants to, he's fine with going with a VMDB system. What is the cost getting affected in that scenario? And if he's moving to a compute instance, whether he has the database licensing here. So there are multiple key functionalities which also has to be taken care. But yes, I can provide you the default, the basic architectures, like if you are going with a single node architecture, how it will be, how it should be provisioned, or if you are going with a multi-node architecture, like in case if you have a 2-node DB system with the multiple applications in place. So how you do that in real-time scenario, I can walk you through the what you say, the workload architecture document as well. And also we will see in the real-time scenario what will be the workload workbook it will be used in general terms. It can be anything based on the architect who is designing that architecture of the complete tenancy. So we will discuss also that part, yes. With few examples, we will cover that.
Okay, fine.
Generally, this is part of the OIC or it's independent role?
It's not part of OIC. It's an independent role. It's just the foundation. It's not. It's completely called as a landing zone or the foundation. It's something like the Oracle infrastructure administration part. So where you need the services, right? You need the VCNs. You need the setup to be in place for your projects to be moving into the OCI. So if you have a database, let's take an example of EBS itself. So you have an on-premises EBS application, which is running on a database, and you have 2 node applications. So this setup, if you have to migrate it to the OCI, which is Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So what all things you need to migrate it here? So you need a tenancy here. So you create an account, you subscribe to a region. So the region will be based on your closest region. So if you are moving to a cloud, so you'll choose the region, you'll subscribe to the account. So once you subscribe to the account, the customer, what they will get is the account details and with the default login. That's it. So after that, as a OCI administrator, where you will be coming into the picture after this, once you are familiar with all these things. So you will be coming into the picture, and you create the new users for your users in your company, whatever the customer side users has to be created who needs the access to this console. And then you segregate those users based on the responsibilities and access manage using the policies. You'll do that. And then you will start provisioning the VCNs, subnets. And then using this VCNs, you connect a connection between your on-premises network and to this OCI. So that can be a fast connect, or that can be a site-to-site VPN. So all these things is something which this administrator will be doing. So once you learn this,
Hemant,
just
Hemant, Shiva here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hemant,
please
Shiva
go
here.
ahead, Shiva.
So yeah. Okay, what I will request is, since I'm also not from admin background, so I don't know even EBS background. I know only I'm from technical background. So we used to take up. I mean, they suggested to take up the project. So if we can include one more module or something like that with your, I mean, any project, like if we can walk through one session is enough actually. If you can walk through the requirement, what you got, and for that, how did you decide on all the subnets, VCNs, and something like that. If you can show some documentation, and so it will help us actually to
sure. That's what that's what I said.
if you can
I'll
take
that.
some real time project, and if you can explain how you have designed it, so that will really help Hemant.
Definitely. So once you what we'll do is, after the identity and access management, where we create the users and we design the groups, then after that we will discuss about a real-time project and how you provision that. And using that real-time thing only, we start provisioning the VCNs. We'll discuss about pattern only. We'll
That
go
way
through.
it will help. I think if you can link to some real-time project and explain whole thing, right? It will help a lot actually.
Definitely.
Okay.
I will do that in
Thanks
that way
for that.
only.
Please go ahead. Sorry.
So
just want to know, I mean, job opportunities in this area. Actually, I didn't see much more.
See, job opportunities in this area is like cloud is the current booming part, where the customers are moving their resources, workloads to the cloud. So coming to the migrations, lift and shift, and even after migrations, you need someone to maintain these resources. So if you have to provide some additional disks to the current existing servers, you need an infrastructure guy, an admin guy, who can come to the console and create a new storage device and attach it to the server. So as part of the support is also, if once the customers are moved to the OCI, or for those customers who are migrating to OCI, so there are so much of requirement in this admin part. And these are the admin guys who will be doing the regular security checks.
AWS, right? Similarly, kind of AWS, what they're doing, same thing you're offering. But here it's specific to Oracle only, or apart from the Oracle also you can offer the things?
No, it's specific to Oracle only. It's Oracle Cloud Infrastructure only. We will be talking only about Oracle here.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So if there are no more questions, just check with Prasad once on the enrolling part and get yourself enrolled if you really want like to take this course. And we'll catch you all tomorrow in the next session where we start with the identity and management, which will be the first part in the console where we create a new user.
Okay.
Okay, and we will also, as you said, we'll discuss about the real-time workload, how we will start up with.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.